Welcome to Global Crossroads. The South China Sea, a vast stretch of ocean vital for global trade and rich in resources, is increasingly being called Asia's next flashpoint. What was once a simmering dispute has escalated into a high-stakes game of coercion and confrontation, particularly between China and the Philippines. Today, we delve into why this region is so volatile, the key players involved, and the severe implications. Will the tension boil over? Before moving on, I want to let you guys know that we're committed to cutting through the noise and delivering sharp, factual insights into the world's most critical geopolitical and economic trends. If you're passionate about understanding these forces and want to join a community dedicated to informed global awareness, take a moment to subscribe. It helps us continue shedding light on these vital stories. Thank you. The escalation of tensions in the South China Sea, especially involving the Philippines, has become starkly apparent in the first half of 2025. Reports from A-Invest on June 30th describe the standoff as a high-stakes game of espionage, sanctions, and strategic posturing. The Philippines, under President Ferdinand Marcos Jr., has adopted a more assertive stance in guarding its sovereignty, directly challenging China's expansive claims. This has led to a significant increase in incidents around the contested Spratly Islands and Scarborough Shoal. Newsweek reported on June 17, 2025, about a standoff where 3 Chinese Coast Guard ships challenged Philippine vessels, reminiscent of previous confrontations. Earlier, in February 2025, a Philippine BFR aircraft patrolling near Scarborough Shoal was dangerously intercepted by a People's Liberation Army Navy helicopter, which flew within a mere 10 feet in a blatant attempt to expel it, as detailed by the diplomat. China's gray zone tactics, which involve using non-military or paramilitary forces to assert claims without triggering overt military conflict, have intensified. These include the repeated use of water cannons against Philippine resupply missions to Second Thomas Shoal and incursions into the Philippines' exclusive economic zone, EEZ. Manila continues to report these incidents, aiming to bring international attention and condemnation, though some analysts suggest this public strategy has, at times, increased the frequency and hostility of China's campaign. The diplomat emphasized that China's escalating gray zone tactics and disinformation campaigns are pushing the Philippines to a breaking point. Meanwhile, other claimants like Vietnam have also been active, with reports suggesting Vietnam has dramatically expanded its military presence in the Spratlys, dredging land at a rate that could match China's acreage by 2025. According to a June 2025 analysis from ICS Yusof Ishak Institute. Malaysia and Brunei also have competing claims, often navigating a cautious approach. The United States plays a crucial and increasingly prominent role in the South China Sea, primarily through its long-standing alliance with the Philippines and its commitment to freedom of navigation. On July 1, 2025, the Quad foreign ministers, including the U.S. Secretary of State, issued a joint statement reaffirming their steadfast commitment to a free and open Indo-Pacific and expressing serious concerns regarding dangerous and provocative actions in the South China Sea. The statement specifically mentioned interference with offshore resource development, obstruction of navigation and overflight, and dangerous maneuvers by military and Coast Guard vessels. This underscores Washington's active diplomatic and security engagement. The U.S.-Philippines Mutual Defense Treaty, MDT, is a cornerstone of this dynamic. As tensions rise, any significant clash could trigger this treaty, potentially drawing U.S. forces directly into a conflict. A March 2025 roundtable discussion on U.S. foreign policy in the South China Sea, organized by Fax Asia, addressed the ambiguities within the MDT, particularly concerning maritime jurisdiction and the definition of an armed attack that could encompass China's gray zone operations. The consensus from U.S. allies and major NATO states, as reported on June 25th, is that the international community must stand with the Philippines to ensure peace, stability, and the rule of law. The U.S. has maintained its policy of conducting freedom of navigation operations, FONOPs, and joint military exercises, like Balikatan with the Philippines. While these are intended to uphold international law and deter aggression, they are viewed by Beijing as provocative actions. The Council on Foreign Relations consistently highlights Chinese provocation in the Taiwan Strait and the South China Sea as a key challenge the U.S. seeks to counter. The presence of U.S. allies, including Japan and Australia, who have deepened security cooperation with the Philippines, further complicates China's calculations. Beyond the immediate geopolitical tug-of-war, the economic implications of instability in the South China Sea are profound, touching virtually every corner of the global economy. With over $3 trillion worth of trade passing through its waters annually, the South China Sea is a cornerstone of global maritime commerce. This accounts for approximately 64% of global trade through its maritime channels, according to modern diplomacy. Any significant escalation in military tensions or conflict in this region could disrupt one of the world's busiest trade routes, destabilizing supply chains and increasing costs due to rerouting and heightened security measures, as detailed by CZ App's analysis on shipping hotspots in 2025. The region is also believed to hold vast untapped oil and natural gas reserves, estimated at 11 billion barrels of oil and 190 trillion cubic feet of natural gas. China's assertion of historic rights and its efforts to monopolize resource-rich areas, often through intimidating other nations' fishing and oil extraction activities, remain a key point of contention. This resource competition directly impacts the energy security and economic development plans of claimant states like the Philippines and Vietnam. China's strategic development of dual-use ports in the region and along vital trade routes, like those in Hainan, further adds a layer of complexity. While these facilitate commerce, they also serve Beijing's military objectives, allowing China to project power and potentially influence global trade flows, raising concerns among nations wary of China's growing maritime influence. Perhaps the most alarming aspect of the South China Sea situation is the increasing potential for miscalculation, which could rapidly escalate a standoff into a broader conflict. The frequent close encounters between Chinese and Philippine vessels, including collisions and the use of water cannons and military-grade lasers, significantly heighten this risk. As highlighted by Newsweek, even seemingly minor standoffs can become dangerous. An April 2025 analysis in 1945 warned that a U.S.-China South China Sea war in 2025 could lead to a World War III scenario, emphasizing that while direct military confrontation is not desired by either side, an accident like an in-air collision or a ship crash could trigger a wider exchange. The lack of a legally binding Code of Conduct (COC) between ASEAN and China, despite prolonged negotiations, further exacerbates the risk. A June 2025 analysis from ICS Yusuf E. Shak Institute noted that these negotiations have reached an impasse, hindered by legal ambiguities and strategic divergences, making it difficult to establish clear rules of engagement. Analysts from Real Clear Defense, in July 2025, also noted that the concept of deterrence in the region is complex, with different states having fundamentally distinct understandings of it. This creates a scenario where missteps could lead to a classic security dilemma, fueling tensions and unintended confrontations. The Philippines' efforts to integrate its fragmented maritime security responses are seen as crucial to present a unified strategy and deter further aggression, as current disjointed efforts could inadvertently play into China's hands, according to the diplomat. The South China Sea truly stands as a critical flashpoint in Asia, embodying the complex interplay of geopolitics, economics, and security. The escalating tensions, the significant role of the United States, the profound economic implications for global trade, and the ever-present risk of miscalculation underscore why this region demands our constant attention. Understanding these dynamics is vital, not just for policymakers, but for every global citizen. Our team at Global Crossroads pours extensive research and analysis into every video, aiming to bring you the most accurate and insightful understanding of these complex global forces. If you find this in-depth breakdown valuable and want to stay ahead in a rapidly changing world, please consider hitting that subscribe button. Your support makes this crucial work possible. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next one.